All right, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the podcast, the No Quarter Podcast.
Idaho's #1 podcast.
Episode 18, guys.
What's up?
We're getting there.
18. I'm still tripping. It feels like we've only recorded like 5 episodes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because didn't we have episode 12 like 100 times?
Well, I changed.
Like
I think it was-
episode 12, episode 12, episode 12.
I fixed all those. But what's funny is like we haven't, like in the last 3 episodes, we haven't actually announced on the episode the correct episode number. So
it's
that's
always
kind of
out
funny
of-
as well.
out of
But
whack.
today is actually 18.
18. Episode 18 of the No Quarter
17
podcast.
was our election day.
Mhm.
16 I posted after 17. That's why
Yes.
I like did a little friend spoof.
Yeah.
I called it the one before the last one or something like that. So yeah, this is 18.
Dude, well then 16 got me through an hour of cardio.
Nice.
It's
I was
awesome.
I was on the treadmill and I was like, what better way to be like a self-loving narcissist than to listen to myself talk with my friends?
So I
For an hour.
I usually give it a full listen through after I edit and post it.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, the most recent one, which is technically 16,
Yeah.
the first like half, I was laughing so
Laughing.
hard.
Yeah,
I was
okay,
like,
yeah,
oh,
like
this
a
is
little
funny.
schoolgirl.
Yeah, I was laughing.
I was driving to Tahoe over the weekend, so we were listening to them, and we were just going back and forth through all the episodes. But I don't know. I haven't looked at the algorithm, but I had multiple people reach out to me on these last 2 that were
Yeah.
like, "Dude, they're straight fire. They're
Yeah.
awesome." So
Yeah.
thank you guys all for the positive feedback. You know, guys reaching out to me personally, and I haven't looked at the analytics, but I don't know. We'll see.
I just migrated. So we went over to the Spotify hosting platform,
Yeah.
which is cool. So this is a bit of like an update announcement, whatever. We're now, our video podcast is now video on Spotify.
Oh, that's dope.
Awesome.
Which is cool. So like you can still listen to us on all the other platforms, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon. I think there's a couple others. Those are the main ones though.
Yeah.
Um,
It's exciting.
yeah, super exciting. So that we're still audio on all of those. You can still watch our full episodes video on YouTube. You'll now be able to listen audio only or watch video on Spotify. And what's great about that is like you can be watching the video and then just like turn your phone off and it'll
still
just
keep
keep
playing,
playing,
keep
the
playing,
audio.
yeah.
So you can be watching some and then when you open it back up, you can go right back to watching the video, which
And
I think is cool.
I think Spotify too is a little bit less on the, like they don't really censorship. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're a bit less
So-
heavy handed on the censorship.
And then a little bit of a change on the YouTube. I'm not sure of how many people are using YouTube Music. It's a major search engine, but now our podcast is listed on YouTube Music as well.
Nice.
So
I dig
yeah, growing, expanding.
It's cool.
NoQuarterPod.com is going to be up and running. I've got it built. I just need to basically hit publish. So
It doesn't cost us a whole lot, guys, to do these episodes, but it does cost us money. Obviously, as equipment grows, as we try to grow out, you know, who knows where the studio will be.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know. We have no idea, but any bit of the support helps. And it's just not monetarily. It's like if you guys like and share the content, that will help us. Because once we get to a certain algorithm and certain viewership, we'll actually start getting monetized
Right.
for the views that you guys are enjoying.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess this is like a little bit of business, like housekeeping or whatever. But right now, I can't. Our subscriptions on YouTube, I think we're around like 500 or 600.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Let's get
No,
that
it's-
to
it's out there,
1,000.
yeah.
I think it's right there. If we can push over the 1,000 mark, we have all of the other content viewership metrics. We just need to be over 1,000 subscribers to be able to start getting AdSense on our videos. Which we'll see how long that lasts. We're gonna probably have to drop the F-bomb count, at
Yeah.
some point.
I was actually thinking about that when I was listening to the episode. I was like counting in one sentence. I said the F word like 7 or 8 times.
It's like
and I'm
my
like,
favorite word, though.
I know, but then I was like, man, do I really actually sound that freaking
I
stupid?
tried to find like some like AI bot that can just automatically cut it out. But the problem is
the whole episode was just like,
that and it just doesn't sound natural. It's just not good.
yeah.
So
no, it's okay.
just-
I'll do better today, guys.
I just
if,
left
If
it.
you're
No, we
here for
won't,
the
but
F bombs,
we'll do our
then
best.
sorry, time to go back to call her daddy.
That's all good.
No,
Or
it's fine though. You know
No,
what I
it's
mean? Like
fine. It
it's
is what
just
it
it's
is.
normal. It's who we are. And
Yeah.
if you don't want to listen and you guys want to report us like
Right.
little bitches, that's fine too.
And we haven't had anybody report us.
No,
I'm
no
just
one-
like I'm gonna see how long monetization lasts when we're able to
Yeah.
turn it on.
And I don't even care really. It's not about the money.
No.
We're
No.
trying to
If it
grow
could just
a
cover-
community. I
yeah.
mean, we've talked about this, growing this community, and there's so
Yeah.
much infighting in.
Well, the No
our
Quarter
community.
OnlyFans is going to take off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to just
the
explode.
feet pictures are going to be amazing.
Just full episodes and feet pictures.
Yep.
We'll draw little faces on our toes and make them do the podcast.
But anyhow, guys, help us share this podcast
That's
where
the
you
biggest
listen to your
thing.
podcast.
Yes.
And, you know, if you like what we're saying, drop us a like, comment. If you comment and you guys give us some ideas, some things to talk about, some people to bring on the podcast.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we're trying to broker it right now where Senator Brian Linney is going to come in and talk. I think next week. He's actually texting me right now. We'll get that offline figured out.
Yeah, this will get posted tonight. So
He is an amazing asset to the Republican Conservative Party, and he's definitely welcomed here in Idaho.
he's like more of a constitutionalist than he is a
The
GOP.
guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Could
So-
you imagine if a liberal just stumbled upon this podcast?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. If we could find somebody who would be willing to come in, have a conversation, and not like just start throwing mud, you know, us go back and forth, get heated, but have like a real level-headed conversation with somebody who's left-leaning, I would really enjoy that.
I mean, listen, our views in this room are pretty diverse.
I agree.
Right? You and I align a little bit more than Jeremy and all of us align. But I think, but no, you're more of the middle.
Moderate.
I've gotten really indoctrinated, really past this election cycle, or during this
Yeah.
last election cycle. These last 4 years were really polarizing to me personally, and I know you felt it too, being in business for yourself. Makes you just really, I hate to use the word hate, but you really start to dislike the left
Yeah.
in a lot of different ways.
We're getting a little visitor. Oh, don't push the door all the way open. We're going to have to wait until after we're done, okay? All right. I told you, try to keep the door closed, okay? Thanks, buddy. Love you.
So this past election was pretty polarizing for me.
Yeah.
And the more and more I started going down the rabbit hole on certain things that this administration was doing,
Yeah.
I started getting really pissed off.
Yeah.
Like getting a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I
Like
can't.
a little indignant.
Well,
Extreme.
I started to get really extreme. My views started to really sway extreme, and I started getting like a little bit of depression. Like,
Yeah.
like it
interesting.
started like really bothering my home life, and I think a little bit to my work life too, because it was affecting the retail sales at the store. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, this podcast is very diverse, and it would be nice to get somebody in here.
Yeah.
And let's hear the other side. We don't want to be an echo chamber, obviously. We agree to disagree. All
For
of
sure.
us.
I mean, I think
So-
all of us do. And I think all of us have varying degrees of, I don't know, maybe commitment to like one, maybe commitment's the wrong word, but like varying levels of how much we agree with each individual topic. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
got into the abortion thing, and I think we have varying levels of
Totally.
like how we view that topic. You know
I think.
what I mean? And
I mean, liberals should just kill all their kids if they want.
well,
I
and
mean,
so one of actually,
Rob
so
just
I'm
flipped hard. He's like, I love abortion now.
I'm gonna to talk about that. It's interesting what's happening online. Like at least what I'm seeing, we're seeing all these like, what are they called? Sex
Strikes.
Strikes.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
this is
kinda like a
amazing. It's
Hummer
like they're
strike.
going to fix their problem right
I'm
there
like-
themselves.
I'm like, hey, you know what? Good on you guys. Sex
But then you
strike.
see the pictures of all the girls shaving their heads and saying no sex, and it's like, that's okay
That's
by me.
just fine.
Yeah,
that is
go ahead.
absolutely just fine.
And then the
Bro,
conservative
if you
women are
put
doing
hair,
the opposite.
If you put hair on like 90% of the women, they look way hotter. You fucking shave their heads, and then it's like, wow,
yeah.
dang.
Yeah,
Without
it shows
makeup
you-
and hair,
Yeah, GI Jane's pretty rare. Like
Yeah.
to stay that good looking.
Oh, she
Yeah.
still look like shit.
You're not a fan.
No, shit. No, I can't do the shaved head thing.
That's fair.
No. I mean, maybe if it was the last human on earth
Well,
and
what
I had to procreate.
What was that episode in Friends where what's her face? That blonde chick. She's a total bombshell.
Rachel?
No, not Rachel. It was
Courtney Cox?
no, it wasn't one of the main characters. Anyway, she shaved her head and I was like, she still smokes show.
I mean, yeah, you just bag it and tag it, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, all that to say, like, I think we have varying levels of how much we look at each individual topic, subject, whatever.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think all of our disposition is like we just want to be left to have our own beliefs.
Yeah,
You
leave
know
me
what I mean?
alone.
Like,
Let me
I'm
do my
perfectly
thing.
content with reasonable, mature, responsible adults making their own choices for themselves.
Sure.
What I'm not content with is people telling me how I can and can't live my life, how I have to teach my kids, where I need to send them to school and expose. Like, I'm not cool with any of that
Yeah.
stuff.
No.
I get to choose my path.
You know, on the episode that we did on election day, right? So a couple of things, I went back and was really listening to that episode and kind of listening to myself, you know, listening to all of you guys as well, but listening
Yeah.
to myself. And you start like, the policy, right? It's not the man, it's the policy. I think I could align with a lot of things that some of the liberals have to say on their decent policy, but their fiscal policies.
Give me an example.
Well, I mean, one, I'm not going to align with anything that goes against the Second Amendment. I don't think there should be any restriction on that. There should be no restriction on First Amendment, regardless if it's Section 238 or whatever that section is for what we're doing here now. All of that censorship on those platforms should be open, right? Like what Elon is doing. As long as you're not advocating to murder somebody or commit violence on another person, you should be free to speak your
If
mind.
it's not illegal.
So
If it's not illegal.
So would you say then you would support legislation that forces private companies into how they do or don't moderate
I don't
language?
feel that media it should be. I'm not saying it shouldn't be privatized, but First Amendment above all else. If you are going to act as a media in a town square, it should be open.
Yeah, I tend to agree. So we had this conversation early on.
Look at how many subsidies these guys are getting.
Well, when I was with Factor, right? When we were able to market actively.
Correct. That's a prime example.
The amount of revenue that we were able to generate to people who it's not like we're forcing people to buy our product.
But they may have never come across it before.
It's visibility.
It's visibility.
And the moment that policies changed and they caught on, it was like a faucet got turned off.
Yep.
Right. So I do think that there is some level of public utility mentality that can be infused into how First Amendment things are regulated for social media.
Here's my problem.
Here's the thing. Everyone is on social media now.
Everyone is.
It's like if you live in Idaho and you need electricity, unless you are going to be completely off-grid and self-sustaining, there's a forced monopoly.
But
right?
so how could these sections, right? The federal sections and these codes protect these entities from lawsuits, but then they're yet stifling or they're censoring our free speech. So they shouldn't get a protection here and then get to censor us over here.
Yeah.
And that's where.
And if there is public funds being infused into these companies, which I would imagine,
dude,
that
they were
there
working with the freaking with this administration.
Right. And
I mean, anytime that you're working hand in foot with the open administration,
and I think that's probably
and they
where
got
I would
caught.
draw the line. I think that's probably where I would draw the line. If you're a private company, you're completely self-funded, then I think you get to make the choices that you want, right? But the moment you take public money, you are now bound to the constitutional stipulations.
Everybody that's listening, we don't know for a fact that they are getting subsidies, but there's a lot of government involvement and influence with certain, like Meta.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know.
so-
I can't imagine that the government. I mean, the
And
reach.
this is why they hate Elon so
The
much.
reach is too broad. The reach is too broad, and you can't tell me. I'm sorry, but if you sell information to the government, I would be willing to bet a lot of money that the NSA has bought substantial amounts of personal data from Google. I mean, that just why wouldn't
Dude,
they
I
have?
mean, and Google's a whole other.
But if that's the case,
issue.
then Google should not be able, if they're going to take money from the government, public money, then they should not be able to then turn around and censor what certain people are saying,
Right.
especially if it's protected under the First Amendment.
That's why I'm excited about Trump's pick with the FCC. I
Yeah.
mean, he has said from
What's his name? That's all right.
I forget his name, but anyhow, if you go back and look at some of his things, some of the policies that he's been talking about for years,
Yeah.
he's talking about holding these companies accountable.
Accountable.
And media is a big part of it. And so it's social media and then media.
Yeah.
They need to be held accountable.
And I kind of think legacy media
Brendan
is,
Carr.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of
Brendan
think
Carr.
I think legacy media is in its twilight years.
So you're already ahead of us looking it up. Look at this guy over here.
So I've decided. So I've been really heavy into playing on ChatGPT the past week.
Oh, cool.
Like fully engulfed. And it's because I read that ChatGPT passed the American medical exam. So I was like,
so it's a doctor.
well, it's not actually a doctor. It was a simulation. So I asked it. I said, hey, did you pass
So
the medical
crazy.
exam? It's like, yeah. And I was like, well, here's some symptoms. What is this? For just like generalized. And it just broke it down. It told me exactly what it could be. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So like this thing's smarter than everything now, period. So when I ask it like generalized question, it has no bias. So when I get to ask questions, it gives me answers. So
You
do
have the
media
app.
companies get government funding and subsidies? Yes, some media companies receive government funding, but the extent of the nature of this funding vary widely depending on the country.
Yeah, I believe that.
But it's saying like perfect example would be like BBC, right? Like that's government funded. Subsidies for private media, government advertising, state-owned media, emergency or special situations
Ask
like
it
COVID.
if social media companies are taking American money from the American government or some form that question, however it would make sense.
It's wild, man.
Yeah, dude. So my thing is this is like if there is public money in it, then it needs to be regulated like a utility because the thing is we have it is such a monopoly. And yes, there are multiple different companies, but at this point, they're being bought up by all of these super major corporations that they start to own everything.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about monopoly. And that's a problem when the monopoly gets to shape the narrative however they want.
Well, and that's just what the legacy media did this whole freaking last 4 years.
What
And
is
it's-
that?
and they've really got people's minds completely thinking
Yeah.
that Donald Trump is going to start deporting American citizens. He's going to put everybody in freaking concentration camps. Like, dude, they're going nuts.
Yeah.
So, so this is actually interesting because it really just like piqued a thought in my head about how sneaky the government is with how it funds
Right,
things.
yeah,
Right,
exactly.
So the answer: social media companies in the United States generally do not receive direct government funding to support their operations.
Keyword direct.
However, they have government contracts for advertising and data analytics for research or policy development. For example, platforms like Facebook and Google have hosted large
Sure.
government-funded advertising campaigns for initiatives like
So public
COVID.
money is making its way into these companies, whatever channel,
Which
Yeah,
is influencing
it's-
them.
but it is influencing it.
research grants.
Yeah. So here's my point.
And it can
If
be
there is-
influenced on both sides
if
of the
there,
aisle,
it,
left or
I don't
right.
care what the contract is.
Yeah.
I don't care what the channel.
Yeah, they're getting money from the
They're
government.
getting money from the government,
Yeah.
which means my taxpayer dollars at whatever level are helping fund that. That means that company should be held to honoring my rights that are protected under the Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
They do not get to censor me if they are going to take tax dollars.
And here's the other thing.
Period.
Like if it's not illegal, it should be fair game. Like
Yeah.
hate speech, just because you think that it's hate speech and it doesn't rise to the level of hate speech, whatever that is.
Right.
And I'm doing air quotes for the people that are listening,
I hate
you know,
you.
on the radio. I mean, come on.
I get it.
Yeah.
So this one's interesting. Research grants is another way that social media receives funding. Social media companies may partner with academic institutions or researchers on government-funded projects. These collaborations can involve studying social behaviors and misinformation.
Yeah, see, there we go.
there we go.
Developing AI tools for combating harmful content.
Yeah.
So that right there just says number 2 is legit. What?
The way you looked at me when you were saying that is exactly how Sunny, what's her face from The View, said.
Oh,
read off her little legal
yeah.
note.
Legal,
Oh,
dude,
there
so
was
she,
no-
she was choking
Oh,
like,
bro, that
she
was
hated
so
it.
funny.
oh, hated it. See, and that's the thing. Like The View and, you know, we call it MSDNC, obviously. I mean, fuck. Dude, they're losing billions of dollars.
Did I read something about MSNBC is getting?
There might be getting sold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're getting pieced out.
Bro,
Like
couldn't
not
happen to
not,
a better network.
not sold as something that is valuable. Like they're basically going to part it out and sell whatever has value
Bro,
left.
Look what
That's-
the left
that's
did
crazy.
regardless of how you feel of Alex Jones, bro.
The Turn of the Frog's gay.
Bro,
No, it's like legitimate. They're trying
he's
to take
filing
his company.
countersuit.
He should.
Did you see that? He's
filed-
filing countersuit against the families that sued him.
Good.
He should. Every single one of them.
You're allowed to fucking say what you want.
Yes.
And just because he thought that Sandy
Well,
Hook was a hoax,
And the amount of money that they charged him or
Bro.
that they forced him to pay was
Yeah.
unacceptable.
whether you like his ideas or you don't,
Yeah.
dude,
Call
there's
him-
a lot of things about Sandy Hook that don't make sense to a lot of people.
Call
yeah,
him-
like the
call him-
actors that are there.
Call him a
I mean,
conspiracy theorist,
allegedly.
whatever.
Whatever.
But
But to penalize him like that and then try to come after his company and shut him down
That's-
for the rest of his life.
that's psychotic.
Bro, your guys are
What's
fucking
crazy though
crazy.
is how many play-by-plays he has called that have turned out to be completely
Bro,
correct.
for the last
At what
20
point?
years. The
At
last
what
20
point?
years.
I know.
I watched a video of him from way back in the day when he was skinny and young on some radio.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty fit though lately, dude. That's probably what stress is going to do to him. He lost a lot of weight.
He's just like,
Either that or he's getting his mind right.
yeah. getting ready for these lawsuits.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is the year of getting shape. I want to hit 40 in the best shape of my life.
Dude,
I said that at 40.
I did 15
Didn't
days
work.
straight so far in the gym.
Nice.
Good
That's
job.
awesome.
I had pizza this weekend, but
we're gonna build out. I'm getting a squat rack and a bench and all that in my garage. So
Your guys' setup at Factor was awesome.
It
I
was.
was
Oh,
totally
that was-
looking for a flex space
Like
if we
that.
could have made it happen instead of keeping where we're at.
Yeah, it was
and I would
sick.
have built out a full gym for my employees, and I would have incentivized them to get healthy.
yeah.
yeah.
I would have paid them an hour a day, I think, to work out.
I mean,
Yeah.
one of your employees looks like he's getting much healthier.
Which one's that?
I don't want to call him out, but I saw him the other day and I was like, oh, he's looking good.
Yeah, I think you know. I
Looking
think
at
it's
it.
awesome to have a healthy work environment, especially if we would have had a shower.
Yeah.
If we could have built out a shower in there. But that's my end goal.
Do
is
you
to
guys have a
actually
hose bib?
Yeah, right.
Right.
In summertime, that wouldn't be bad.
Hose them down. Get
But
outside, dude.
it would have been
stink.
cool
Put 'em-
because I
put 'em in the
remember
cold plunge
your
afterwards.
guys' gym over there was awesome.
Yeah, it was sick.
And you guys had that rope, like,
Yeah.
dude, I just, every time I walked in there, I was like, man, that would be so awesome.
Yeah, that was a
we
lot
should
of
all be
fun.
working out together.
Yeah. That was such a great spot.
It was.
That
The
was
guy was
such a great
anti-gun
spot.
though, man. The landlord.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It was weird. They even came after us because we subletted, right? So we subletted our portion of the warehouse.
Yeah.
And when they found out
They got
what
all-
our company was, they got real butthurt. So we had to take our signage down and everything.
Damn.
Yeah. Even though we weren't an FFL and nothing we were selling was regulated
Yeah.
by the ATF, like they didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a when we first started looking for we were like, okay, this is our budget.
Yeah.
All of those spaces were well within SimShot's budget initially. I'm
Initially.
glad we didn't get fucking stuck there because that would have made it
Yeah.
a much more crash course.
It was
fucking-
all progressive rents.
yeah, but
We're at over there.
Yeah.
yeah, but I was like, dude, if we could get right across the street from fucking Black
You're-
Rifle,
You're right. Your rent doesn't go up here.
it does, but
Oh, yeah.
not much.
Is
I
this
think-
is this zone flex?
Yeah, this is considered flex.
Yeah.
There you go. Yes, I don't know. We've never asked. We just
Yeah. I
said
mean, it's
this-
not retail.
No, we
so.
just talked to the landlord and said, hey, this is what we do, and he's like, I'm down. I was like, word up, let's go.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
we're really
crazy for-
lucky. Our landlord's a conservative,
Yeah.
good American dude. And
Bro,
he
this
loves
complex
it.
was empty. We could have taken this whole thing over. It would have been awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just all
it would
this
take
front.
time, but as so that's mine and Nick's dilemma is like as spaces become available, do
just
we
try to
start
buy
just
it.
swooping them up, or should we put an offer on the building? But then I was like, no, because like this whole place needs to be re-landscaped. Like it is not a beautiful spot. Like
No, but it's functional.
it's functional, but I'm bougie and I want beautiful grass. Like that one space you looked at right down the street with all the-
yeah.
it was fucking beautiful. I was like, shit, I wish I could buy this right now, but I'd have to sell everything that I own.
Yeah.
So we've got we'll go into it obviously, but we just signed the 4-year lease
Yep.
for our building.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
Congrats on that, by the
yeah,
way.
thanks.
Finally,
thanks.
fuck.
Dude. I mean,
Well, You've been month to
ultimately-
month for how long?
Oh, for months.
year.
Trying to find. So Boise Black Rifle's been trying to find a new spot
for months.
for months and months and
Yeah.
months, and it's been a real problem.
Because we were looking for something very specific, but the code here, and we wanted to stay in Meridian. The code is very like difficult to work with. Like we
Yeah.
wanted a warehouse / retail,
Right.
and those buildings are considered flex here in the city of Meridian.
Which dictates how many square feet or what percentage of your square footage can be retail.
Correct.
Right.
And so the really nice building that we saw here just, I don't know, 6 months ago that we
Yeah.
found would have worked perfectly, but they
Right.
didn't want our retail space to be more than 800
Bro,
square
that
foot.
was like less than 2 months ago.
Was it less than 2 months ago?
Yep.
No, that other one right here.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I was like, shit.
Yeah,
dude,
no, that
that's-
one was awesome, but they just wanted way too much.
Yeah, that was
It just didn't make
astronomical.
sense.
And then they kept stacking onto it, like, oh, this is how much it is. But also, if you want this space,
Yeah.
you want this many parking spots, fuck you.
Well, and the other problem is like location. I mean, you are primarily a retail. I mean, don't get me wrong, the internet side is growing,
Yeah.
but you're a retail space.
We are.
and
We are.
you need good access and visibility.
Yes. So we decided to sign a 4-year lease. We're going to stay where we're at. We took over the suite next door,
Doubled
which is going to
your-
give us double the space for retail product. Give us a little bit more space in the back.
Is it going to be
And-
on par with the Sacramento and
No, Sacramento's still bigger, and so is Sparks.
those Sparks?
And those stores are laid out a lot better, in my opinion.
I really like the layout of the Spark store. The Sacramento one feels smaller than it is to me.
Yeah, just the showroom's a little bit small.
Yeah.
But the back, with the 10-day waits, we had to acquire another 750 square feet.
Yeah.
Did you know I've never been to any of your other stores yet?
Really?
Really, you need to stop by.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, when am I ever going to go to Sacramento? unless you tell me to go.
Yeah.
If you have an event and you want SimShot there, bro, we will be there.
We should do that at the customer appreciation next year. You guys should come down.
Yeah,
Maybe we
just
could
like,
do
hey.
a live. We could do a live podcast.
Yeah, that'd be
that'd be fun.
badass.
But did you see my Google reviews for both locations?
Are they great?
Oh, every time I'm in Sacramento, here's the thing.
And it says verified customer.
It does. But here's the thing. I've met a bunch of your employees from Sacramento when they come up for range day.
Sure.
And nothing I said is untrue. They're all great fucking guys.
I'm blessed in that aspect.
Yeah.
I've had some of the best employees that have gone off to do bigger and better things in their careers. And I've had, I mean, dude, what my store manager at Sparks, I mean, he's been there over 10 years.
Yeah.
So
he's a super knowledgeable guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's not all about the money for some people. His wife's a very talented realtor for a big company.
Realtor.
Yeah, she's amazing.
It's French.
Katie is amazing.
No, it's Italian.
But,
Fragile.
so it's not all about the money for some people. It's about the love for the industry and growing something. Seeing my vision, helping me grow that. And I'm blessed. I have great employees. Matter of fact, I just had a little meeting before I came here with my staff here at Boise Black Rifle, and just telling them how much I appreciate them.
Yeah.
And
I will say this, and I've been in every gun store in the Valley for the most part. Not recently, I guess. So maybe it's not a fair statement. I'm probably pretty fucking biased at this point.
Oh, you're definitely biased, but
100%. Yeah.
we hit it off though right away, just like we did when you came in, because you're like, hey, I'm just looking around, whatnot.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, introduced me to you, and he was shopping everywhere. You know what I mean? And it's just been, you just click with certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
it was a matter of, there was other gun stores that I didn't feel the same level of respect for. Ultimately, I spend my money.
No, not you. I was saying they got their nose stuck up.
At first, I thought you meant I was rubbing my nose on the
I was saying
microphone. I was like,
they got their nose up in the air.
I was like, I have the smallest nose in the world. How is that touching the? I think my nose doesn't stick out as much as my lips. But I was like, I spend my money where I feel like it's valued.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I always felt a great level of appreciation from even just the employees.
Yeah.
Not even just you. You're very appreciative as well, but just from the employees. So, like, I think my first year here, there was one time when I walked in, and I can't remember even who it was, but they're just like, I think it was Gavin, back when Gavin was with you. And he's like, hold on, I need to check something here. How much money have you spent here? And I was like, oh, I don't know. A few, for sure, some money. And he went through and it was like $11,000 in like a couple months. And I was like, oh, shit.
Let's hide that from my wife.
I spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Dude, and it
Does
is
Erica listen to the
appreciated,
show?
right? Like,
Sometimes.
Okay.
I think,
Not this episode. I hope. Just bleep it out, dude. Seriously, when it gets down to saying how much I spent, just beep.
I'll do my best to remember.
I'll text you.
Okay.
But it came down to that everyone was knowledgeable. Because here's the thing. This is probably widely known amongst people who know me. I am not a gear queer.
yeah.
I am not. People would be like, "Oh, what are you running on your rifle?" And I was like, "I've got a light and I got a what is that? An EOTech." They're like, "What kind of buffer tube?" And I'm just like, "Whatever is on it."
Metal.
Yeah, like
The metal one. I think it's got a spring in there too.
Yeah.
What's your upper? And I'm like, I don't know.
think there's a pin. I don't know.
Yeah, and here's the thing, I really, when I build a rifle out, my pistols, I'm a little more meticulous. I can give you like finite details about them. But my rifle, it's like, dude, I bought this. I don't know. I went in, I was looking for a new rifle, and someone said the Riz 3 came out from the Daniel Defense, and I didn't own a Daniel Defense, so I just bought it. And
Nice
like,
rifle, actually.
I will say in the heat with a suppressor, it's not a nice rifle.
Really?
But it's a nice rifle. It looks good.
It doesn't run?
It runs in between not running.
Give me that thing. Let me look at it.
But yeah,
figure that
it's
out.
definitely like,
Yeah,
I think
that'd be surprising if it really didn't run.
Yeah.
Daniel
No.
Defense put some nice stuff out.
dude.
I was at a class with you when you were having some hiccups, actually.
I was like, boom, 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 and my trigger just died. And I was like, what the fuck? And Kyle was like, oh, you're popping primers. And I'm like, it is
yeah, I
100
think
degrees.
you actually did. That's not a rifle issue.
That's
You
an
did
ammo
pop
issue,
a primer,
yeah.
and a primer got stuck up underneath.
There was
the,
no primer, though. I broke it open. Me and Kyle walked to the berm. We broke it open.
There
There
probably
was,
was something in there that was restricting the movement of the trigger.
must have been fucking ghost primer.
Chasing
but
ghosts.
something. But yeah. So it's like, out of all the gun stores I had been to, I just felt the most welcome there. And even now, I mean, I've been a loyal customer and a friend to you for a while now, and I've seen the cycle of new employees kind of come in.
Yep.
And even the guys you have now, like even talking to Brandon and Britton.
Britain.
Britain.
Dude, just like constant
Salt of the earth dudes, I'm telling you.
constant knowledge growth. And I ask a lot of stupid questions about rifles. I'll just be like, I need a ambidextrous, safety switch. And they'll be like, all right, cool. And I'm like, I know where they're at. And I grab one. And they're like, you didn't even like look to see what you grabbed. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, that's a 45. I'm like, oh, I don't want that. And I have to go. Like, they always are just catching me and helping me out. And it's like, man, to see you grow, like that post I made, like double the fun, double the knowledge, double the gear, like fuck everyone else. Like at the end of the day, like I'm just gonna spend my money with you. And
Well,
you
it's our
got good
homies
guys.
too. Our group now that we've created. I mean, look at this. Look what
Yeah.
we've done in such a short amount of time. We've been here 4 years.
Yeah.
And to accomplish what we've done with all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The relationships that I think that the business that you were in, the business that we were in, and you're in, it all brought us together. And I think this community that I keep saying that we're building, we are building it. It's just taking time.
Yeah.
And I think that we are going to weed out,
There's natural selection that
Of
has to
course.
take place.
How have we not
course.
talked about Grantham's debauchery yet?
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't even want to touch it.
Is it that nasty still?
I don't know because you don't know. It's his business for one. He can do whatever he wants.
Well, and
You
here's the other
can.
thing too is like there's kids and family
Yeah.
involved. I'm like, I don't know, man. We can
Just
talk.
weird
I
when
would
you're-
never ever want to talk about the family aspect of it. And
That's like the
that is
the
really the
biggest
core of
thing.
it of why it makes me upset.
Yeah.
I just think that the internet is fucking forever.
Look, dude.
And-
I'll say this, man. And I kind of agree. I don't really want to hit on it too much. I hope that they are able to figure out how to
Co-parent healthily.
how to be a happy, functional family, whatever that looks like for them.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
That's-
and
you know what I
here's the
mean?
deal. You guys have heard about what's going on with Noveski right now.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
So
the ad?
so they came out with some pretty spicy ad,
Yeah, and people are like, oh
and
my
people
God, there's
fucking
women
lost
in
their
bikinis.
minds
Like-
on Halloween.
It's literally women in bikinis and lingerie.
So and
with
that shit,
masks and stuff.
whatever.
Have
to
they
them,
seen any of the Black Rifle coffee?
but they
stuff
say,
from the
hey,
early
listen,
days?
they make a great product.
Yeah.
It's one of the best
and-
rifles on the market.
Yeah, well, they make just incredible stuff. They have a amazing fanboy cult following.
Yeah. Big
right.
time.
They came out with some questionable advertising, which I didn't see there to be any issue with it. Personally, women, I think that has come and gone in the gun bunnies have come and gone
Yeah,
in the
sure.
industry. I think it's kind of sailed. They kind of brought it back, and they had one of their, collabs pull. And it's not public yet. It'll be public this next week. They sent out a thing to all the dealers. But when shit happens like that, it affects the dealers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like with Yeti. We were a huge Yeti.
Dude.
We sold copious amounts of Yeti. For a very small mom and pop shop, I turned a lot of Yeti. When the shit happened with the NRA, depending on how people felt about the NRA or Yeti,
Yeah.
it turned off like a light switch. And guess who got holding the bag?
Yep. All of you guys.
Yeah.
So I
What's-
still had
what's
bills
so
to pay. I
funny-
had all the inventory.
What's so crazy about that is how much longer, and then the 2A community turned on the NRA. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like months.
Yeah.
And then the NRA was all of a sudden like,
I got gifted a lifetime membership to the NRA, and I remember when I got it, it was a thoughtful gift.
Mhm.
But I remember when I was handed like the thing from one of my family members, I was just like, why the fuck would you do that?
yeah.
did you get the
But
jacket?
here's the deal: being an owner,
It was some other shit. I don't
being an
know.
owner, I feel like people have tried to cancel me over the last 17 years. Like, I've been.
That's honestly surprising.
No, it's not. Like, dude, I've had a lot of people come after me, like
the
good or
look of-
bad, whatever,
Yeah.
just because of my passion.
Yeah.
And I just tell people to fuck off half the time
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't really care. Like, try to cancel me.
You
Whatever.
know what you should bring back? You should bring back exposing the people who put like fucking just frivolous, dumb fucking Google reviews. We should have a segment
Oh, I
on
mean,
that.
we can
should.
get into that. That's,
I still
that's
think we
funny.
need to do the road rage with Rob.
Oh my God.
Well, but going back to the Noveski thing, right? So when people a company makes a decision and they have people, I'm gonna use the word shilling for them because you have fanboys that are
Sure.
shilling for the company, and they do it for money and not really because the product's good. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Like-
the product is fucking good, and the guy that they were teamed up with on a special project, it sounds like they're parting ways over this ad that they did
Got it.
during Halloween, and it kind of sucks because we bought into that
Sure.
as dealers.
Just a
It's
random question, but is their logo a gypsy?
the
The company who's parting ways with them, or they're no longer working together?
no, it's not a gypsy logo. No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Okay.
Is this not public info yet?
it's not public yet.
Oh,
We got
okay.
an email about it saying that they're going to be.
So the
parting
one that
ways,
was
but-
racy was the Warm and Fuzzy collab.
Yes.
And here's the thing. This is where I might differ from some of the standard Christian conservative views of I'm
Bro,
like,
and that's where the fucking bro, we don't need to fight in this community.
No.
We
Yeah.
have so much outside influence that's already pushing on this community enough. You don't need any of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is just noise.
You were gonna say like you probably just don't care, right? It's like chicks in bikinis.
No
Whatever.
one cares.
Well, here's the thing, dude.
Who
Like,
the fuck cares what
it's-
a company decides? It's their money. They're putting in it. They're producing.
Was
Who
there
cares?
public outcry against it? Is that why
No,
this
there
is an
was.
issue?
There
A
was.
ton. A ton.
Oh.
You have to go on there
And
go look at it.
ultimately, at the end of the day, for me, as a man who likes strip clubs and fucking, I'm cool with all that shit. Here's the thing. I think if we're looking at real woman empowerment, real stuff like that, it's like if women want to show their cooters, let them show their cooters.
Well,
if
I
they
mean,
don't,
like-
they
Bro, I
don't
have a painting
to.
in my fucking house that was painted by a naked gay guy with his dick.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, dude, you can't offend me.
you can't.
Like
Yeah.
I cannot be offended.
But here's the
now my
thing.
feelings could get hurt, but I can't be offended.
Right.
Like on anything that you put on the internet, I can't. If I don't want to look at it, I'm not going to look at
Well,
it.
here's the thing: is like even if you do get offended, that's your problem. It's not
Yeah,
anybody else.
And that's
Right?
really what it is. Also, too, here's the thing: is a woman in a bikini or lingerie holding a gun an actual fucking problem with the gun world?
I don't know
we are-
exactly what this company had the issue with, and it's
Yeah.
it's going
Right.
to come out apparently this week. But for anybody to have an issue, and there are so many comments on it, and it's going back to you wanted to address the Grand Thumb thing. It's his business. However, those companies that are aligned with him, and it could turn off some of their
For
their
sure.
people.
Well, at the end,
and
of
the advertisers can decide to pull their money back,
and that's
Yeah.
okay.
and that's okay because that's their business to do so
Right.
as well. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is at the end of the day, you're right. I agree with you. A company gets to make whatever choices they want.
Yeah, you have to just live with the consequences.
The market is going to speak with their dollars.
Exactly.
Like advertisers are going to try to get ahead of what they think may affect their bottom line. That's true.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the market's going to vote with their dollar. So, you've seen this with, Yeti, right? How many
Bro, we
people,
had to
how
make
many-
a financial
how many-
decision. We had to get
Right.
off the product.
But how many people went out and they were blowing their Yetis up, their $600 coolers and stuff?
Dumb.
And now,
I kept all
and
mine.
now
I'm drinking out of one right now.
I am too. Like, but it was 6 months, not even, and everybody was back on the
Forgot.
they
Yeti
forget.
train.
Everybody forgets.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I forget.
So this will blow over. I don't know. It's his business. The memes are incredible.
The memes
I
are
mean,
awesome.
freaking the things that are coming out. I mean,
The internet's a nasty place, man.
and it's forever.
It
so
is forever.
It's
Dude,
victorious.
Yeah, I don't
Always.
know, man. I don't know the guy personally. Like, I don't know. I hope he's able.
Well,
to figure
here's
it
the
out.
gig. I'm going to put up my Daniel defense.
For sale.
We can't say that.
Oh, not for sale.
Mm-hmm.
No gun sales.
Yeah. I might place it into a gun store, fully kitted. And with that, I'm then going to buy a Noveski in support of boobies.
perfect.
That's a good T-shirt.
So
we should come
So
up
the
with-
collab
I
that they're
support
getting rid
boobs.
of, you have until December 31st to put your order in on that. It's one of my favorite rifles.
Really?
I think that I ran it in the last class. I think everybody enjoyed that rifle.
Dude, they're awesome. They are
so
awesome.
if you want one, it's going to be your last opportunity to actually get one on order, and they're taking pre-orders until December 31st.
Are they still selling at full price? Or are they going to like just
No,
clearance?
it'll be.
They're gonna-
I think they already have the inventory. I believe they just got to get them out the door.
Yeah.
So
well,
Interesting.
I'm
they're
gonna
not
swing
cheap,
by.
but
They're
it's
not.
going to be the best rifle. I think out of the box, I don't think I've shot a better, softer shooting rifle. Now these are going to be NFA items, so they are SBRs.
They're SBRs.
So that was the collab, but I think for the money, you can't. It's hard to beat.
I mean,
For the money.
this rifle's already out, right?
Yes,
So who's the rifle by? Because that's public
well,
information.
it's still regular defense.
Oh, okay.
So those are the people that they're
Got it.
parting ways with. So I get it, dude. I totally get it, and I'm still gonna buy Noveski. Noveski's one of our top one movie
Yeah, dude.
companies. They make
I've
great
always
stuff.
liked Noveski
It just
stuff, and
sucks
I've
that
always liked their advertising.
because they collabed with a great
What's
idea.
current?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: the gun world can't be stuck in this old FUD bullshit
Yeah.
forever.
Well, it's not even
People
that,
like me fucking exist, dude. There are people now head to toe covered in fucking tattoos that are dialed up and
Right.
love crass behavior and shooting guns
Yeah.
proficiently.
I do kind of agree. Like the gun bunny movement kind of came and went, and what I say about gun bunnies, I mean chicks who were just selling their bodies, and they weren't real. They were selling products that they didn't know if they were good or not.
yeah.
That was more annoying because they simply got views because they were hot chicks.
But here's the deal:
Yeah.
the
There's
most
nothing
classy
wrong-
advertising I think that a gun company has done is Staccato.
Yeah.
with Viscusi.
I was gonna. Dude,
She's amazing.
That is literally-
she's
she
gorgeous.
was gonna be
she's
my
fit,
example.
and she can fucking shoot.
She can
and she's
shoot.
articulate. Like
Yeah, she was literally getting ready to come out of my mouth.
She's my favorite.
She is
honestly.
awesome.
She's always been when she
And
was
she's
with
a
Glock,
total
it's just-
knockout. And she's a family. Like her kids are awesome. Her husband's hilarious.
Yep.
They're back and forth banter. And that to me is where the whole like quote unquote gun buzzy. Excuse me, you're not a gun buddy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But like that's where that is gone, where it's like now people are favoring, they want to see, very attractive women doing whatever. Like that's just
I want to see
guys.
everyone fucking
Like
shoot.
guys are visual dudes. Like
I think
you
that-
want to see hot chicks on pictures, but I want to see capable, competent, articulate.
Yeah.
That's what.
And
I'm,
what makes
you
her
know
even
what I mean?
hotter is that she's capable. She is confident.
Yeah.
Like she's a very strong woman.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
straight up.
follow a tremendous amount of female shooters, and it's not, and I honestly tend to, I think I follow a few of like the popular gun bunnies and stuff, like, and we have a few that follow us that are like, those girls that are in bikinis, and who knows if they're good at shooting or not.
Yeah.
But what it comes down to it, dude, is like, I want to see feminine women shooting. And I want to publish
agree.
it, and I want to post it.
I mean,
I want to post women that wear beautiful fucking, like, there's a shooter, Nicole Kolba. She's an up and coming competitive shooter. She is fucking awesome at shooting. She shows up, she runs, she shoots her gun, she drills, she dry fires. She does all the things that the community needs to see is capable of feminine women.
Sure.
And she's a smoke show, great.
Yeah.
But she is a shooter.
In full
I'm just
transparency
saying
here, in
guys
2009,
like-
2010, I did a calendar, and it was pretty risque, and it was fucking widely popular.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
We like
I
titties.
mean,
most of those
guys
girls
have
that were
had
in there
bikini posters in their
couldn't shoot a gun.
garage. I mean, since forever.
Yeah.
Like that's what pinups were in the
Yeah.
40s and 50s, and it's just progressed. Like, look, guys are visual creatures. They like to look at hot chicks.
100%.
I'm right, wrong, and different. Whatever your opinion is on it personally, who cares? I'm not going to get on them for advertising the same way that every company is always
camera turn
advertised. No, it's on.
Okay.
Forever.
And they didn't. And here's the thing: Noveski didn't force women to wear
No.
lingerie. They fucking
and
were
it's like,
like,
look,
yeah,
if you
God,
want
let's go.
like,
Dude, comments in there, in the comments thread when you go there, oh, John Noveski's rolling over in his grave. like,
whatever.
just all
No,
kinds of
he's
crazy,
not.
stupid shit.
He
I'm like,
knew what
bro,
he was breeding, and it's a totally like we've been approached. Simshot has been approached to have collaborations and sponsors. So our social media took this weird boom. We went from like 1,000 followers to like 3,500, and it was so weird because we didn't know what was causing it.
Sure.
And I'm sure
Just
some of
you
it's
caught the
Russian bots,
algorithm.
but whatever it is, dude, just like even today, like 10 new followers. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like I
Yeah.
didn't even post today.
yeah.
And then we started getting, hey, like, you want to send us some free swag and we'll like rock your gear. And my answer is always just no.
Yeah.
Right. Do I love the idea of like capturing all the audiences with hot chicks and savage tactician type dudes and all this stuff? Yeah. But at the end of the day, we'll never be Tactical Tommy, and we're never going to push women in bikinis because this is a place for families to train.
Bro, I
as
would like to
well.
see
Yeah.
our content, because we've talked about this, just us bringing some of our homies to the range and just get some candid photos,
Yeah.
get some candid videos, turn it into some reels,
I know a guy that does media.
right? Exactly. Well, he's going to start doing
That's what
some
I'm saying.
media. But I think that we should do that. I mean, I think that's more of a, here's the deal. I've been to tons of sales seminars. One of them was the Heavy D. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah.
Diesel
Heavy D
Bros.
Sparks. I like
so
him.
I paid for my managers and I to go to Vegas a couple of different times to do the Heavy D workshop. And it's legitimate. People want to see the real you.
Yeah.
Like when I'm being more real and
yeah.
you open up and the failures. People want to see people fail. They want to see the real, like,
Well, because
yeah,
it,
be honest.
it gives
They
some
want to be
perspective.
honest.
Oh, I'm not as far back as I thought I was. That's
Yeah.
really what it
Yeah.
provides. Yeah.
Well, and
it's
it provides a level of like, yeah, you can look at any marketing book when it comes to especially social media. Is people want to feel like they have a relationship with the company.
correct.
Right.
They want to feel connected. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That's why, like, me and Nick, like, though we won't ever advertise anything like too gnarly, nothing political, nothing. Like, if you come meet us, you know that we are unhinged,
Yeah.
wild.
You're
Yeah.
getting.
We are
what-
the Guns N' Roses of the Ada County shooting world.
Yeah.
Like, we're
I
fucking
think,
wild men.
so before I got married, right? Before Sherry and I got married, she has a family. They were like, they would see my post online and everybody was like, oh, what is she getting into? Then, like, her daughters, I got to set a decent example for them. They're adults, obviously. They have kids now. One of them does. And so it is what it is. However, when I was being wild and dude, my content went crazy.
Yeah.
When I was throwing parties at my house and I'd have it was nuts.
Yeah.
The things that we were putting out. It was funny
That was also a
stuff.
different social
It was
media
a
era.
different time,
It was a
different era,
the
different
era
place.
was, you know,
But
it was
yes.
anything goes.
And then you're like, you wake up and you got 50,000 followers. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy shit. I mean, I've had multiple.
And
my
it still
accounts
happens.
taken
I mean,
down,
that guy that we were chatting with, Nate,
Yeah,
you know,
he's awesome.
he went from like literally in the last 6 months, he went from like 10, like he started with like 1,000 followers and he's at 170,000 or something like that.
And it's
And
I'm
it's
not
just
saying that
because he's caught whatever, and he's more fitness and he does do some political stuff or whatever. My point is like, look, like you can build audiences and it's fine. At the end of the day, people are going to consume what they find interesting. Most people don't want to hear the same cookie cutter bullshit that is being.
It's gotta be real, man.
You've just got to be real.
like we are in here. And that's why, like, that's why I wanted to do this with you guys. Like,
Yeah.
because like we're not afraid to speak our minds. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you have to keep it kind of chill because of the type of work that you're in. If someone, I don't know. I don't know if you could be canceled. I know for a fact if someone tried to cancel him and I would just laugh at him. We'd be like,
Right.
okay. And then
It
just make
happens all the time.
us stronger. But
It is just like, oh, I'll lean into it.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
try to
well, I mean,
cancel me
like,
all the
look,
way.
I look at it this way: if I get canceled for saying something I truly believe in, like what was that dude who was a Seattle copper, like and during COVID? And
dude, he's badass.
yeah, he is, and he filmed a thing that was basically like, hey, cops, you guys need to really think twice about who you are going to be arresting and why. And basically, his department said, hey, you've got to. At first, they were like, hey, we've got your back. And then they said, hey, you've got to take this down or you're fired. And he's like, I'm not taking anything
This is
down.
gonna be my next segue. I cannot wait.
And yeah, they ended up canning him, and he was like, fine, cool, I'm done. And he got out of law enforcement and he pivoted that audience that he was able to build through that whole thing into another career.
He's been doing public speaking,
Jiu-jitsu.
his gym. I mean, dude, I was actually on his page.
Greg
Yes.
Anderson.
You see all the trees
Greg?
that blew over on his
Garrett?
freaking driveway
Greg.
because that cyclone that came through.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I know about the cyclone.
Yeah, it's crazy. Blew all of his freaking trees over on his driveway.
My point is like, look, at the end of the day, if I say something that I really believe in, you know what I mean?
Stick with it.
That is true.
Well, because you're a
That-
fucking man.
I'm not going
And
to
that's what
back
we
down
do.
from it simply because somebody's like, hey, you
At
can't
all.
say that.
Dude, that's
me.
one of my worst. So that is one of my biggest pet peeves about a quote unquote man.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are just recounting your statement because you realized you were actually genuinely wrong about it,
Or out of line or whatever.
or even just like, you know what, hey, I heard a different perspective and it made me think,
yeah.
and I'm adjusting my point of view on this. But in a heated argument, if you all of a sudden cower or change your view because the general room doesn't, dude,
I prefer to walk out of the room.
I'll sit
Yeah.
there and just take my fucking shellacking, dude. I'll sit and like I've said things before and had like a whole group of people in my neighborhood just consistently coming at me, and they're just like, "You're wrong." Even like my wife would be like, "Oh, that was kind of, you were a little out of line there, off base there. That statement wasn't really needed." And it's just like, I fucking said it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
well.
own it.
And guess what? The more you lean into me, the more I'm gonna lean into it and double down because I said it.
I think
And that's why I don't like these guys in our industry, like the guy that we were just talking about. It's whatever. Don't come out and make a statement. Come out and make a statement. But if you don't address the elephant in the room, I just think it's a little bit. It's not how I would do it.
Yeah.
If something like that came out against me, you know, and I'm that kind of influence
Profile
on
or
people
whatever, yeah.
in the industry, I'd come out and make a statement. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah.
I'd obviously talk to our lawyers and then go from there.
Yeah.
But not our business.
I fucking hate
Dude.
lawyers.
All right. We're going to go to some more lighthearted topics. Jake Paul fight.
It's funny you say
Did
that.
you watch it?
It's funny
I
you
did,
say
and unfortunately,
why was it lame?
It was lame.
Dude, are you kidding me? Were you entertained by that fight?
I was entertained.
I was not, because I believe in all the clips that people have sped up, rewound, slowed down. Bro, I think Mike Tyson was holding his punches.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I do.
To me, he looked
100%.
I don't know that he was holding. He looked like an old man who could not find his feet.
Who?
Mike Tyson.
No.
He got fucking rocked and
No.
realized that here's the
His
thing.
face to me looked like he was defeated mentally.
I'm not taking anything away from Jake Paul at all. I think he's an tremendous athlete. He trains, whatever. He's funny. Mike Tyson, I think, was holding his
I don't
punches.
think so.
There is no reality where Mike Tyson won that fight. There's no dimension where Mike Tyson won that fight ever.
in the fight.
And let me tell you why.
I even think I said on the podcast before that I was calling for Mike Tyson, but we were texting during the fight, and I'm like, nah, Jake's got this. Before the fight, after, I'm like, Jake's got this. My opinion, I think opposite. I think Paul was holding his punches.
Paul was, dude, that last.
He said he was. I saw an interview with him, or Whistling Diesel and him were talking back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, I knocked his fucking head off." And the only reason I didn't because he's my elder.
Yeah,
Like, I'm like, what?
It was lose-lose.
Honestly, I kind of buy it. It was lose-lose for him.
Because if he wins by knockout, the world's like, oh my God, he knocked out, fuck him.
But they're already going to say that. Everybody says that on every fucking fight that he does.
It's better to go out respectfully.
But nobody wanted to see Mike Tyson on his ass.
Nobody.
Not one
I didn't even
person.
want to see the fucking fight.
I agree with you.
Go away.
I thought it was a terrible.
Tyson,
I
you're
would have paid
retired.
for it.
I don't.
Go away.
I don't think it was a wise fight for him to take. Now look, he got his bag.
20 mil, bro.
He got
Secure
his,
the bag.
He got his bag.
Did both of them get 20 mil?
No, Jake Paul got like 40 something.
Yeah,
mil.
Jake Paul got like 40. Mike Tyson got 20. Look, it was worth it for them. They got the bag. The fight to watch was the chicks, the two girls who fought before.
Oh yeah, it was a glorious.
That
fight.
was a glorious.
And even
fight.
the fight before that, I can't fucking remember.
And I was
their
less
names.
entertained by that one.
Dude, those
I was less
those
entertained.
Latino cats,
Yeah.
one with the slick back hair. Ooh, they got nasty. Dude.
Yeah, they did. I was less entertained. The girls though, man, they threw
They
down.
scrapped.
Brian just got back to me. How about Tuesday after 2 p.m.?
Works for me.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah, works for me.
Can you clear your schedule on that?
Yeah. I don't think there was a reality where Mike Tyson could have won that fight, and let me tell you why.
So am I good to respond?
Tuesday's the 26th.
Yeah, we're talking about Senator Linney. That's why we're
we're excited.
We're talking about it.
I have an appointment between 1 and 2, but I'll adjust. I'll move things.
Okay.
He better be fucking good on camera. If I'm
he's
changing
amazing.
my goddamn schedule, I'll fucking grill his ass. Hate politicians. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I know Brian. I've met him a bunch of times through you. I met him at your shop. Met him at Range Day.
Yeah.
So good guy. Evander Holyfield showed us that Mike Tyson couldn't take a punch then. What makes people think that 58-year-old Mike Tyson can take a punch now?
There's a point. He's got a point.
Period.
Okay.
Period.
To me,
I grew up watching fighting like people grew up watching baseball and football.
See, I did.
So now Jake is going after McGregor. He wants to fucking fight him MMA.
Now, see, that
doesn't
to
matter
me-
what weight class.
That
He
to
said,
me,
let's just do it.
I'm interested in that.
Dude, Jake Paul's a savage, bro. He'll fucking fight anyone anytime.
I'm interested in that.
He's been boxed. So what people don't realize is, though he was never a collegiate wrestler and stuff, he grew up wrestling. Him and his brother both grew up as high school wrestlers and stuff. They have some wherewithal. I don't know if you remember when Logan Paul did a round of jiu-jitsu and wrestling with Paulo Costa. He fucking held his own.
Did he?
And he doesn't play grappling much. You know, he has some fundamentals. I assume that carries over into Jake.
Sure.
Then we look at the fact that Jake Paul's one of the wealthiest YouTubers, next to like,
That Jake is. I always get the guys confused. Jake is the one that fought. Yes. Okay. He's one of the wealthiest. I thought his brother was bigger.
now because he still does stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Jake stopped. As soon as Jake started boxing, he's like, yeah, I'm done YouTubing. Like, he's a boxer now. He has top dollar for top coaches, top technology,
Oh, yeah.
top sciences. This dude has been getting the best training for 5 years straight. That is incredible. That will put you past dudes who are stuck in the past with old school boxing.
Sure.
This is not real. Like, the movie Creed is not accurate nor indicative to how things will really go in a fight. I'm positive even if Tyson was headhunting like he would have in the early 90s, late 80s, he would have been unconscious. He would have been unconscious.
27-year-old Tyson versus 27-year-old Paul.
No, 27-year-old Tyson would have murdered Jake Paul. And
Jake
he
Paul.
literally would have murdered him. Tyson now could never have done it.
I agree.
It's just you do not have the
honestly, it
same
made me
light
sad.
switch.
I think watching that
It
fight,
was-
The
watching that
transformation
fight,
for me was watching Tyson go from old man to get fit.
that was
Oh,
cool.
badass.
That was
That
incredible.
was awesome.
Badass.
That was incredible.
But watching him box was kind of like watching Biden debate.
That was a good statement. And
Oh,
I read
come
it out
on.
loud in front of everyone at my house at a party.
Yeah.
There was like 20 people over and everyone's fucking dying.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
it was
Except
not
for my
great.
Democrat
That's a little
friend.
extreme.
No. It was not great.
Tyson's not retarded.
Ah, you
He didn't look like a boxer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
In the ring, he
and
didn't.
I'm not a fight connoisseur. I'm a total outsider.
And here's the thing too, people were saying, watch his training videos and watch how he was in the ring. He was definitely throwing this fight. it's a lot fucking different when you're swinging at pads and fucking
A
boxing heavy
240
bags
pound
versus
versus 27-year-old.
huge young dude with a cannon of a right hand who has knocked out damn near everyone but Tommy Fury he's fought. I mean, he fucking flatlined. I mean, he fought Mike Perry, who is a professional boxer.
I think he was pulling his punches.
He was 100%.
think so? Oh,
yeah. It was a cash grab fight. And he even said at the end of it, he said, Mike Tyson and his team have been so supportive of me. Thank you guys. Like,
Yeah.
This was a.
You think the slap in the beginning, like at the pre-fight?
no,
was
Tyson
that
was
real?
pissed. He stepped on
I
his
think
foot.
Tyson
Tyson
was
was
pissed.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was real Tyson.
That was real Tyson. Like, don't you fucking come up on me and step on my toes.
Yeah.
That's a little extreme.
I think that was real Tyson.
It
But
was
dude,
definitely-
watching him fight was like watching. I'm sticking with it. It was like
All
watching
right,
Biden
all right.
debate.
So
bro.
I was positive Jake Paul was going to win because there's no reality. Even if Tyson was headhunting, he would have left himself open for that right hand. That
But
Jake
I will
Paul,
say, Conor McGregor in an MMA, especially if it's unsanctioned and they let Conor use PEDs, because he was huge when he was on roids.
yeah, good for him though. Everyone should be on
Huge.
roids.
it shouldn't be illegal.
No, I mean if we're paying money to watch these people fight, they should.
I don't
be
know what.
peak
I don't know if he. I
performance.
thought because I think he got clean, right? He was trying to come back and fight
I think
sanctioned.
he's clean. He passed a bunch of USADA tests.
Yeah.
So he's clean.
But if they let him
Get bulked
get
up.
bulked up again, that would be an interesting fight. Because I think he will spider monkey Jake's ass.
Conor McGregor wins that fight 10
yeah.
out of 10 times.
Yeah, I don't think
If
Jake,
it's MMA with no limitations.
I don't think Jake Paul has that I will pay for.
Conor McGregor is too elusive. And that was where he had success in the past, was his unorthodox stance, his elusiveness. He was hard to hit. But now he's also super fucking rich and doesn't need money. So I say take the
Might
prize
have a different
fight.
drive. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he might
Take
take,
the prize
prize
fight.
We'll see.
Conor McGregor doesn't like to lose.
No.
So I think there's definitely a difference between. So he might not be pressed to fight now,
Yeah,
but the dude hates to lose.
yeah,
He doesn't like. I think he cares about winning, but I think he hates losing more than he loves winning.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, that was it. And then the next day there was Chandler versus Charles Oliveira do Bronx 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was UFC what?
And 311 or 3,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
That
But
was cool to watch Trump hug Rogan though at the
Yeah.
at ringside. That was pretty cool.
So
I will
cool.
say it was comical to watch Charles, for any fighters or people that like fighting. Charles Oliveira fucked Chandler up their first fight, and then we watched a clinic of a Brazilian man do whatever he wants to one of the most in shape American men we have.
Yeah,
He literally did whatever he wanted to him.
yeah,
It was fucking terrifying. And I really like Charles Oliveira's story to Bronx because he grew up in the favelas. He like cried in an interview once saying like, I just can't believe that I made it from where I did to where I am now.
yeah. The poorest of the poor.
And he's so much gratitude when he fights. He's genuinely
Crazy
just-
how
cool.
little these guys get paid considering.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
MMA,
Like,
yeah, UFC
MMA,
rapes him.
UFC is like, I'm not talking shit on Dana White, but dude,
No, he's a businessman.
These dudes
They get
don't
paid nothing.
They don't get paid enough to get in that ring and get.
you got to get to the
beat.
top, and then that's when
There
all
are
the
dudes on the
sponsorships
undercard
hit.
that get $5,000 for a fight.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Or
it's
less.
wild.
Some
It's
guys
crazy.
get 2,400. That's a training camp, so they walk away with net zero or
Yeah.
negative. But then John Jones came back and finally fought, which was awesome because I truly think John Jones is one of the best there is,
Yeah.
was, and ever will be. Everyone will negate that because his arrest record and
Right.
killing unborn babies in wombs during car accidents or whatever they want to say about him. He wrecked his car. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, he's a fighter though.
But like the dude's unstoppable. And Stipe's old and pretty much done anyways.
Well,
but
and he made a basically concession speech. He's like, I'm done. I'm out.
yeah, he's like, that was a wrap.
That's it.
I just needed a mill.
He's a firefighter, right? I think.
Yeah, he's a firefighter. And I never understand what he's saying anyways. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever the fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But it was fun to watch, and that spinning back kick that John Jones
Yeah.
won with was the
was
most
wild.
terrifying
Incredible.
thing I've ever seen. 'cause
that break
it,
his ribs.
it had to have, because
That- dude.
it was not a kidney punch or liver punch. When you get hit in the liver, it shuts your body down.
That was
you're like
lights
fine,
out
and then
for
you're
him.
like, and your body like locks up. He hit him in the ribs,
Yeah.
Bro, that was
and he
wild.
fucking went,
I'm done.
I'm fucking over this fight.
Yep.
And I don't think he had a choice. I think his body shut down from that.
Yeah.
It was one of the most well placed spinning back kicks I've ever seen, and I don't ever want to experience that.
Nope.
That was
Me
wild.
neither.
Terrifying. And then that's my end rant for. But I will say so speaking of politics, there was an altercation in my house after the John Jones fight.
A political
Really?
one.
It was almost physical.
Oh,
Wow.
Two neighbors. One neighbor,
This was over politics?
yeah, because Trump was on the screen.
Wow.
So one of our neighbors was like, Trump, 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 just yelling it.
Yeah.
Which is annoying in itself because everyone, there's no secret. I don't fucking really like Trump as a
Yeah,
person
yeah.
at all. I think he's fucking obnoxious. Love his policy compared to Biden's, but yeah, anyways. So he was shouting that. The other guy was like, oh, Trump's a bitch. Fuck him. He sucks. Da, 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 da. And he's open. He voted for Kamala Harris, and that's okay. That's his fucking right. It doesn't negate that he's a great dude. I love this guy. He's one of my really close friends. I'll always have his back. He's a good dude. He just has different political views than me.
I get, dude. I mean, my career offers me a lot of really close friendships and relationships, and we have very different
Yeah, totally.
political views.
And me and this guy go back and forth, and we argue all the time. And I've even said things that were a little over the line, like anyone who votes for Biden's a fucking idiot. And he's like, so what the fuck? I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
So like I've even crossed the line and said more than I should have, but
Sure.
it's based on me just being abrasive and loud and crass. But then like they were standing up and talking. And then Elon Musk came on the screen, and one of them was like, oh, even Elon Musk, even that guy's a fucking douchebag. And then homeboy walks across the room and gets kind of in his
Oh my
face and was just
gosh.
like, you drive a Tesla, and started kind of like blowing up at him. And then it just fucking overflowed. It
How
was just,
stupid to like break up relationships.
Especially at another house.
Oh, the device
Somebody
in there.
else's house.
yeah, well, you know, I get it. And here's my thing.
Was there alcohol involved?
I had to be.
One of them doesn't drink.
Oh.
The Democrat doesn't drink. I didn't drink. I very rarely drink.
I think fighting, just like when you watch it, like when I'm out in public and then we're watching a fight, I'm like, ooh.
It makes
I
me
love
laugh.
it.
A little
I
bit
love
of
it so
drinking,
much. It's one of my
and
favorite
people getting
things.
all hyped up.
I
So,
think it's funny. As
my
long as you
wife-
stay away from me and mine.
My wife initially
Yeah.
stands up and grabs the kids and leaves the room.
Yeah.
She's just like,
As
I'm
she
out.
Smart
should.
lady.
The other wives were kind of like, calm down, like trying to like a little bit diffuse it. And I just sat back and was just like, I'm going to let this go
get
until
the
it's
popcorn?
Yeah, I'm going to let, because here's the thing. I truly believe men should, like, again, you say your piece, you deal with the repercussions, you don't back down. And one party was like, blew up, like, you know what? I'm sick of your shit. You talk over everyone, fucking blah, blah, blah. The other guy was like, I don't like fighting. I'm sorry. I don't want to fight. And it's like, no, you don't get to fucking do that now.
Yeah.
You have brought that here.
Yeah.
You don't get to fucking
Deal with it.
You don't get to not deal with the fist fight now. And so I was waiting for it to happen. You know, they're both big dudes.
Yeah.
I would have literally just been like, break, pause. I would have grabbed
Just
them
go
by
in
their
the
ears,
backyard.
and I would have said, let's go out front or backyard. Let's not fuck Erica's house up.
Yep.
I'm okay with a fight in my house. Erica's
Yeah.
not. So let's go outside and fight. And they
I have a
did.
set of headgear and fucking gloves at my house. I'm like,
Go for it.
Oh, I
Go.
actually,
Let's solve it
I
now.
have so much fucking boxing gear in my house. But no, I would have bare knuckles is the way to go. Because that way, because bare knuckle, your hands will break if you hit too hard. So I tend to think it's a little less dangerous
Yeah.
than throwing. If you give me 16-ounce gloves, dude, I will hit you with the might of Thor.
Yeah.
If you give me bare knuckle, I'm gonna probably pull back a little bit because I don't want to shatter my hands.
I wish I was there for this.
So I'm just sitting back, like watching, and it's like one of those things where it's like, and going back to kind of like a man should stand behind his
Sure.
word.
I get that.
The antagonist in this story just cowered and stood there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they listened to the podcast or not, so I'm not going to say names or whatever. But like my opinion on it is like, you don't get to do that. You don't get to wait until someone's ready to fight and then just be like, I don't want to fight. I don't like.
Well,
fighting.
no, I think I think it's fair. Like if I'm going to say something, because whether or not I'm drinking or not, if I'm going to say something that I believe, right? And then somebody just wants to like smack me in the face. I mean, that's the right thing. Come smack me in my face. I'm not going to instigate a fight. Now, you throw on me.
Yeah, but you're not going
All
to
bets are
cower
off.
in your statement.
No.
You're not going to immediately revert back to like, no, I'm sorry.
No,
don't
but
wanna-"
I certainly would be like, really, buddy? Like you're going to take offense that much over some words and you want to fight over
Yeah, but
this.
sometimes enough's enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like just saying, like, come on, act like a man. Like, do you really does you throwing because I said Trump is awesome and Elon's cool?
Well, it wasn't
Like-
that. It was more the yelling in the face thing.
Okay, what? Oh, he was yelling in his face.
He like walked up and was like, you drive a Tesla, blah, 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 and just like yelling.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a little different.
Yeah, and it's like once you come within arm's
Show
reach
us
and
the
want to
Nest,
yell.
the Nest camera.
Yeah.
We don't
I
have
know you got one in your
no,
house.
we don't.
Damn it.
We don't do cameras inside of the house.
Oh, I do. I want if somebody breaks in and I shoot him in the face, I want it on film.
Oh no, I mean I'll strap my
Me too.
GoPro on.
Yeah,
I'll strap my GoPro on. No.
yeah, I'll strap my GoPro on.
The little beep beep.
Your Honor, this was not premeditated. You literally put a camera on your head.
Yeah. Protecting me and him. But yeah, it was crazy. And it was I enjoy it's no surprise.
Yeah,
I enjoy conflict. And
You do.
And I will say
To a
this.
fault.
To a fault. And I'll never back down from it. I think fighting is healthy for men.
I'm not saying that fighting in certain circumstances isn't necessary.
Even just in general.
But I'm saying
We talked about this.
going
A lot of
fist-
people that haven't been fucking punched in the
I
face.
agree, but I have been.
No, I know.
That's my
it
point.
sucks. I'm not okay.
Like, but going fisticuff over somebody yelling Trump and Elon at you, like,
Yeah, it's a little wild.
well, he didn't. He
that's-
removed himself. He ended up being like, I'm fucking out.
But that's
He
my
just
point.
left.
I don't think he's being a bitch by not fighting. Is what I'm getting at.
Just the act of backing down.
Did he back down from his opinion?
He like was like, I'm sorry, and like he just backed down. You don't get to do that. If you want to bring it here and the other person matches you or elevates it, you don't get to drop back down to here.
No, that's called de-escalation.
No,
like,
that wasn't
if you get to a
de-escalation.
point,
That was
if you,
fear.
if maybe it was, but if you take it to a point, like let's say I push something too hard and a guy wants to start blowing up, I'd be like, hey, look, I'm like, this is half joking. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to fight you right now. Like, that's not me being a bitch. That's just me saying, all right, dude, like, look, you're right. I'm pushing you past your limit. You know what I mean?
That's
I
the okay route.
apologize.
Like if he had said like, hey man, look, like I took it too far. I apologize. You're right. Like that.
I hope they do listen to this podcast. This is gonna be great.
I honestly think, I honestly, here's the thing. I have this theory about real friends. And I think I'm surrounded by a lot of friends,
Sure.
but not a lot of real friends.
Yeah.
Because
that's-
when I
that's
host
the 2 a.m.
when I
or
host,
whatever.
when I
The 2
host
a.m.
neighborhood classes, like I hosted a neighborhood class, none of my fucking neighbors showed up.
Really?
No, it
Really?
was a $40 class, and I probably would have even charged them $10 just fill the seats. None of them even attempted to show up. When
That's
I have
wild.
a woman's class, none of the wives show up. When I have any pistol classes, none of them show up. At the end of the day, none of them come to SimShot. None of them do. And I mean, I have one of the neighbors will wear like SimShot gear that
Yeah.
they get for free.
Yeah.
But none of them put any effort into
We're in
supporting
SimShot
my
right now.
business financially.
Yeah.
So when Eric and me were talking about this after all that shit went down, she's like, well, I'm glad you weren't part of it. And I was like, honestly, I don't give a flying fuck at the end of the
Yeah.
day. Because at the end of the day, just because we're associated and we make friendly and we hang out and stuff, like I spend my money, like my neighbors' insurance brokers, I moved all of my insurance to them because we're friends. All of it. And I don't think it's the best deal. I think it's a good policy.
Sure.
It's probably not the best deal, but I moved all my insurance to them because I support my fucking friends financially
Yeah.
for their success.
Yeah.
And none of them fucking do that for me here. So then I think like, okay, well, what are they really at the end of the day? They're expendable if they need to be.
Yep.
They're expendable. And if people are like, fuck that, I'm your real friend, it's like, okay, how?
Yeah.
How? When SimShot's struggling, how?
Yeah.
Right. Whereas if I called you and said SimShot's struggling, the first thing out of your mouth, both of you would be, what do we need to do to help
Yep.
you get
What are we
this
doing?
going? And that's what we do.
What campaign are we going on?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're expanding. What was the first thing I said to you?
How can we
Whatever I
help?
need to do to
Yeah.
just send more people your way, we're doing it. And it's like, so my thing was just like, go ahead and fight.
Yeah.
Divide the neighborhood. I don't give a fuck. And then people were like, you're going to have to choose which family you invite to the Christmas party. And I'm like, well, I don't pick
Yeah.
sides, but I already know who I'm inviting, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
And yeah, so that's my rant.
That's fair.
It's random. I
think
don't
it's
even know how
totally
I
fair.
got there, but fuck, if you don't support your homies financially, you're not real homies.
Yeah.
Straight, Nick's friend Nick that
Yeah.
just moved here. We have been training him. We have been having him at all of our classes. We have been inviting him to range days as a member and all that stuff with zero expectation of asking him to sign up for a membership or give us a dime.
Yep.
Because we love him, and if you're gonna be in the clique, you got to be able to run a fucking gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how to say it. We look at him, we love him. He's family.
Sure.
He's coming to my house for Thanksgiving. But like, if you're gonna be down with the group, like you
gotta
got to
run
be
your
able
own.
to run your
Yeah.
fucking gun, dude, or else you're just not gonna ever be in the group.
Yeah.
Because I can't rely on you in that sense, and I
Yeah.
have to. All of my friends that are in this kind of clique all have to run their shit, and they
Yeah.
do. So we've been harboring him, learning how to do this stuff, and fucking about a week ago, boop, Nick Blank signed up for a membership.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, dude, you didn't have to do that." He's like, "No."
Well, you tried to give, like, when Jordan was starting to train.
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm not charging her. I'm like, shut up. You'd send me. I'm
Dude,
like,
that's
here's
the
it's
thing.
just not gonna. It's just,
I can always tell you I don't want you to because I genuinely
I know
will
that.
decide. But it speaks volumes about you being like, no, we're gonna pay you,
yeah, dude.
right?
Yeah,
I'd
and
rather
that's
give
it.
you ammo.
What's that?
I'd rather give you ammo than sign up. But I try to sign up for a class with Kyle multiple times, refunds my money. I'm like, bro.
Oh yeah.
But like with you guys, like
Yeah.
pitching guys fucking ammo.
Yeah,
Same
no,
with
yeah.
Mark at the range. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like
you
Mark
help
does
us
so
in-
much for me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like-
even just allowing us to use the storage container is a humongous help to us.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, and I want you guys to use it because I'm not out there as much as you guys. But dude, I bought it.
have you seen it
for-
recently?
No. Is it dialed now? Or no?
Fuck. All right. Well, this is an embarrassing story.
Did we get the racks put up in there yet?
No. So
They're behind the conics.
me and Nick are there 3 days a week. we have, once a weekend we'll have 10 people out at the range.
Yeah.
When we're done after 8 hours, we just fucking throw shit in there.
I
and
get
slam
it.
the door
Oh, so
closed
it's
I get it.
sloppy.
It was everything was in where it needed to
Here's
be.
the deal. Here's the deal. Let's get together offline and let's get that thing dialed.
Well, it's dialed.
Like, let's build the racks. There's racks behind it.
I know. We need to bring some sanitizer for those racks, though. I'm telling you, I think people piss on those.
Yeah,
Whatever.
gross.
We'll put them up and sanitize them, put everything on them.
But so, anyways, so Kyle comes into. I bought the PDP from Kyle, and we're chit chatting, and he's like, yeah, I was struggling finding some Target stands because Double Tap's Target stands are all fucked, and I can't find them, and that's my problem too. And so he's like, I put all my Target stands in there, but then like as I was leaving, I was like, oh, I can't leave this place like this. And he's like, so I cleaned the whole thing. And
What?
I was like, that's a sim shot mess. I'm fucking humiliated
Yeah.
that you fucking thought like you. That's like someone
shit.
coming into your house and cleaning your bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh my god.
Dude, I have a great
So
story.
he
I've got-
dialed it all in there?
So it's. I mean, me and Nick have been
Oh
using
my
it again, so it's
God.
probably back to somewhat. But like he like put all the steel where the steel was, put all the Target stands where the Target stands
what a
were.
dude.
And he just got it. And I was like, dude, thank you so much. But how embarrassing.
What a homie.
And I was like, me and Nick had intent to go clean it because
Yeah.
it's yours. We want to make sure it's at
all
least
of ours.
walkable. But I was like, fucking so embarrassed. But it
I
does.
bought that container to do exactly what we're doing.
But it should be kept readily usable.
Yes, but we should have built the racks. I should have done that before we put anything in it, and I didn't. That was my fault.
But still, it was one of those things where I was like, fuck, I appreciate it. So shout out to the homie Kyle. If you listen, I hope you do. Thank you for cleaning up our pigsty of humiliating shooting area.
At some point, we'll get him on.
Yeah, what was your story?
I can't remember.
Oh.
We can talk about Lakin, though.
Yeah,
I'm
let's get
running
into
late for time because I have
So
stuff
much.
scheduled
Okay.
for the.
What time you got to be out of here?
I got to be at the store by 1.
Okay. 8 minutes. Lakin Riley. Whoa.
Whoa.
And that's
Guilty on all counts.
Okay, so that's the illegal immigrant who raped and killed.
He did not rape her.
Oh, he didn't?
She fought him for 15
like 20
minutes,
Yeah. 15
so that
minutes.
he didn't.
But he
and
killed her.
and he killed
Beat her
her.
head in with a rock or something.
Now, I have my own thoughts on this. Just,
Guilty on all counts. No,
I
yep.
hope somebody gets to him in prison and
Oh,
kills
yeah,
his
for sure.
ass.
They
For
will.
sure. But then, so the one that's more, I mean, that's current. That happened, what, yesterday? Day
Bro,
before
the
yesterday?
testimony is crazy.
Yeah.
Sherry and I were listening to it on Thursday as we were driving to Tahoe.
Yeah.
And it was live. It's gut-wrenching.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
absolutely
terrifying.
gut-wrenching. The parents bought her a Garmin watch, and basically it told the whole story of when her heart stopped, the whole 9 yards, and
That's
just
so sad.
the impact statements were incredible yesterday.
Yeah.
I would encourage anybody that has kids.
Sentencing is when?
I'm sure it'll be any day, but anybody that has children or whatever to go listen to the impact statements. Yeah, for the DA to take the death penalty off the table,
Yeah, ridiculous.
and for him to be a coward and not do it by a jury, he gambled. He gambled and he lost because they came back with the judge. He had a bench trial. The judge came back in 22 minutes.
There are, to me, I'm like, the death penalty, I get it. There's this what's it called? Gratification.
Yeah.
This sense of justice that goes to the victims' families, which I think is immensely important. But
Hey, through the testimony,
I
ahead, sorry.
think, no, you're fine. I think that knowing you are going to spend the rest of your life in prison, likely subservient to more alpha men, that's probably worse.
I don't know, man. I think even look at the fucking the guy that killed all those Vandal Idaho kids, those girls.
He's still on trial.
He's still on trial, but the judge decided to keep death penalty on
yeah,
the table.
it's on
for
the
him.
table now. I
But
saw
even
that.
for him, it's like, I don't think that dude wants to die. I think that dude would rather sit in prison.
Maybe.
You can hide out.
Maybe.
Bro, we are paying for that for
I agree.
the rest of his
no,
life.
dude, I'm not saying I'm anti-death penalty. I'm absolutely
But
pro.
some of these guys like this.
Yeah,
But
that's
for
true.
the fact that our government paid him and his brother to fly to this
I
state
know, dude. It's
for
so
him
wrong.
to kill her,
So
the
wrong.
federal government needs to pay that family.
Yeah.
And no amount of money will bring her back.
Yep.
But whatever that family gets could make their life a little bit easier because guess what? Every single day that mother is going to go through hell. That father and the stepfather,
Yeah.
which the stepfather is awesome if you go and listen to his impact statement, we owe them.
Yeah.
And if that money comes from taxpayers, we owe them because we invited this by electing
Yeah.
this administration to do and allow these
such a
motherfuckers
beautiful
to get
young
here.
lady.
with a huge future ahead of her.
Yeah, crazy.
What really bugs me about our judicial system is that I just can't. It will never be an effective judicial system unless people like him are allowed to be handed over in cuffs to the family.
That motherfucker needs to get put in the wood chipper.
That's and I almost think like the whole
It's too fast.
Bro,
Well,
slow it down. Brr.
lethal injection is
Too kind.
it's too kind.
It is too kind. But I think lock him in a room in cuffs, restrain his hands and legs, and let the family go
I
in there
pray
and do what they need
if I
to
was if I had influence and I had
I
a
don't know
lot
that
of
I
money,
agree.
I'd
Well-
pay somebody to fucking end that dude's life in prison. Like a bad
Yeah.
fucking beat down.
I don't know that
Fortunately.
I'd agree because I don't think that I don't know that healing, like, look, you're never going to get over as a parent. You're never going to get over what happened, right? But I do think that there is a certain point in life where you can find some semblance of inner peace where you can continue your life and hopefully do something good. And I don't think that putting a family in a locked room with this guy and letting them torture him to death, pardon my voice is going out, letting him torture him to death is ever going to give that family peace.
I think it'll give the same level of peace if they didn't, if not more.
I don't know. I don't know that I
And
agree.
giving them the initial gratification of being able to make him experience the same level of fear.
I think that it is an unnecessary thing, though. I think that
Who
there
does
is-
that? The dude, they're saying that he went out hunting for
Yeah,
somebody,
Yeah.
a woman, a girl, to do that to.
yeah,
And I think it was sexually motivated, and he just couldn't beat her.
yeah,
She had a fucking will to live, and she fucking fought him,
yeah.
and she was tiny.
I'd be content with more.
And that gives me so much satisfaction that she fucking fought him off, and it was
Yeah.
vicious.
Yeah,
Dude, they had DNA underneath their fucking fingernails.
yeah. I mean, it was
Like, and he
yeah,
had he was a fucking coward,
yeah.
legitimate coward.
Yeah.
And
I know, dude.
dude, I just,
No, it's fucking infuriating.
dude, and like what you're saying, the judicial system is kind of fucked.
Yeah,
Look at what happened to Daniel Penny right now in New York. And I
Yeah,
could go off
bro.
on a whole other situation. We could
Yeah.
go off on another one. This dude's a fucking hero, regardless if he is acquitted or if he is convicted. The dude is a hero in my
yeah.
eyes.
He's a former,
Locked on a
he's
fucking train
yeah,
with a fucking crazy guy. Nobody else stood up to do something about it. He did. And it's unfortunate the guy died, or fortunate, however you want to look at it. But he took action and he saved probably people's lives on that train.
he's suffering consequences,
and now
doesn't
he is
deserve.
suffering the consequences from a fucking liberal ass DA
Yeah,
that doesn't bring charges on anybody
yeah.
and bringing charges on this dude
Yep.
for doing what's right.
Well, it's because he's white.
So
and
He's a white guy.
We
that
could
killed
go
a black
on.
guy. Yeah,
There's 3 of these situations going on right now that we could talk for days, but within
yeah,
the first one, bro,
yeah,
this dude should get the wood chipper.
yeah. I agree. He should be given the death penalty.
At
I mean,
least-
I don't know what his.
I don't know how the
Publicly.
family held it together on those impact statements.
See, and that's what I was gonna say. I don't know that
Publicly.
I wouldn't agree with you. The
Live
whole
air
lock
that
and everything.
shit.
But what I do think is they should bring back things that instill more fear. Bring back the guillotine. Bring back the firing squad. Bring back being hung. You know,
Here,
in-
I'm going on the record right now.
Yeah.
Because this is about ready to go down when Trump is elected. Deport all these motherfuckers. Go
dude, that's
round
another
every
huge-
one of them
bro,
up.
you're gonna open up
and
another
let's
30-minute
just go.
conversation.
And any of these cities that want to fucking, we're going to be a sanctuary city. We're going to make the fucking
it's not gonna
ISIS
happen.
job more difficult and more dangerous. Going and looking for them, pull all of their fucking federal
Bro,
funding.
I'm telling you,
All of it.
It's gonna be interesting to watch, but it's gonna happen.
I can't wait.
And I know people are saying like, oh, it's gonna be concentration camps. No, but there will be, like, as they round up illegals, like, they're going to have to put them somewhere until they have to get deported. That's just the reality.
Well,
of
I
it.
mean, Obama put people in cages.
for sure.
So why can't we?
We are going to do it.
And I'm not saying
And I'm
cages are like-
100%.
Not cages, but he did.
And I don't
Yeah.
care how much money it cost. Look how much money we fucking
Well, no,
sent to these
it's how
wars
much
all-
money is it going to save, dude?
It's gonna save us
That's
money,
an
I know.
entire episode talking
Yeah.
about the deportations
We
that are
can,
going to
we
happen.
can go
So
on that.
Tune in next time.
we've got
Yeah.
some. Well, Brian Lenny's next time, but
he'll
this-
talk about it.
Yeah, this will be up tonight. I'm going to edit it when I get home. This will be posted tonight. Guys, please, No Quarter Pod on all the socials.
Yes.
If you can, if you're going to listen to us, Spotify is the best option for us. And you can do the video on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple. Those are our top 3. You can find us otherwhere on the other places if you need to. That's what you listen on.
Please
iHeartRadio.
like,
But-
comment,
yeah.
and subscribe.
The biggest things that you can do is if you could help us share, get our YouTube over 1,000. That's huge for
Yes.
us. And then follow us on Spotify if that's where you listen. And then now you can comment on Spotify. So it costs you nothing. Just give us a little bit of engagement and it's going to help. We're like kind of at that threshold where we're getting enough listeners and followers to where we're starting to pick up some traction. But if you listen to us regularly, if you find any value in this content or you just are entertained by it, because we're a bunch of shitheads and really we don't know what we're talking about.
That's true.
But if you can, just give us that little bit of engagement and it's going to help push us over the line. So thank you guys. We love you. That's episode, 18.
18.
Amazing.
All right, y'all. We're out.
We out.